red lights are out and we are underway. Helmi Asman actually got off to a sluggish start. He's got 1 or 2 places up, but not the start that he was really after. Kasma Daniel looking serene in P1.
Yeah, there's something about the spring in Kasma Daniel's step that tells you he's going to take some stopping in this race. Well, his compatriot, Karan Pawi, is just behind him.
Like 32, Helmi Asman has actually got himself, after that sluggish start, he got himself a real nice line into the turn. And I think he's got himself at least 4, possibly even more places. Bike number 32 right at the end.
Yeah, he's just going past Soichiro Minamoto there.
Also made a good start.
Yeah, so the Multi boys at the back making good progress.
But when you're up against this kind of quality, when you're up against Kasma Daniel, then it's a problem. Khalid and Pawi looking good as well. There is the Naughty Boys chair, Helmi Asman. But it's a solid start. It'll give him encouragement, and there's plenty of time. 12 laps of this circuit. It's a longest circuit, and Helmi makes up another place as well. Was that Ferozi?
Yeah, he's just got it. That's right. He's just got ahead of Ferozi. Anupab moving up from his 10th place start. We just saw Rocco Sessler going through there. He had that unfortunate crash. He was kind of sucked into. And in front of him went down.
They are the next target for Helmi. In the meantime, serenely, second time I've been able to use that for Kasma Daniel, because he is looking very, very smooth. He's an exhilarating rider at the best of times. At his very best, he's a very smooth rider, Kasma Daniel.
Yeah, kind of going slow to go fast, as the cliche goes.
Kasma leads from Adelanto Putra, Khalid Pawi ahead of Reza Danica, Daki Aman for SDG Harkro in 5, Nagroho, Anupab Samu, McKinley Kalpaz, Mohamed Sharafuddin, Herjan Atna, then Helmi Asman in P11.
This is a really good showing from Reza Danica Arens. We've seen him struggle here, and he just gets swaps paint there with the Malaysian Honda of Khalid Pawi. But showing a lot of fight there, Reza Danica. He hasn't lost any time because of that.
Anupab Samu makes a move on the inside. Anupab goes inside, I think it was Ryan Nagroho.
Yeah, he's a good racer, Anupab, but hasn't really shown what he's made of so far. But now, of course, it's business time. Adelanto Putra just keeping an eye on the rider ahead of him. Kasma's had a win and a second, and apart from that he only scored 3 points, and there is a rider down there. That is Damok. He's down again. Gosh. He went down in qualifying.
Sharafuddin Asman. Inametsu Honda. He'd started well. He was in P3 and he was in the leading group, but his race is done. In the meantime, Adelanto Putra, who had a nasty tumble at Sepang in the second race, but recovered to pick up a point. You never know how useful that point could be at the end of the season. He's trailing in P2 at the moment to Kasma Daniel. Yamaha's looking smooth and Kasma's looking smooth. Kasma's in good form and his confidence is high. And he's leading after 2 laps, but Adelanto Putra on a beautifully conditioned bike is in P2.
Yeah, Wayne Nagroho moving up. He's in P4 now.
Pawi in 3. Nagroho's done well, and he's taken Anupab Samu with him.
Yeah, Anupab has put his racing suit on and seems to be overcoming whatever was slowing him down in practice and qualifying.
He's chasing a 4th straight podium in a row, his bike number 500. Behind him, though, Ryan Nagroho has a little look. Odaki Amon for SDG Harkro, bike 53, the wild card. He's in the mix as well, ahead of Reza Danica. What's happened to McKinley Kalpaz? Dropped off a little bit, bike 23.
Yeah, 1.8 seconds down in 8th. Helmi is up to 10th. He's got, just in front of him, he's got Herjan Atna.
Anupab is racing. He's just done the fastest lap, 1:54.4. He's also fastest through sector 1, fastest through sector 2, bike 500, and he's got himself up into P4 ahead of Wainagrohu. As we focus on the other Yamaha of Kasma Daniel, Anupab Sarmoon is worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I was concerned that he might not have found his way around or have the right setup for Motegi, which is one of the most difficult circuits, and down goes. Oh, that's Reza Danica down in the dust.
So Astra Honda's Reza Danica is used to success, but he's in the gravel. Thankfully he's up, he looks okay. That bike will need an awful lot of resuscitation.
Yeah, he was looking competitive in the early stages, and Adelanta getting all sorts of shapes too, but that was a heavy thump down onto the tarmac.
He's very lucky that trailing bike hasn't caught him. Gosh.
Yeah, and he kept his arms out of harm's way as well. Sergeant Tom, the number 22, a bit more yellow on that Victor Racing Yamaha, including wheels.
I'm glad to say that Reza Danica is walking away. Shaken, but largely unscathed. And in the meantime, Kasma Daniel continues to lead at the front. Anupab Sarmoon continues to push hard in P4.
Yep, he's threatening. He thrilled us in Sepang coming from the back of the grid.
Grohu has got Odaki's Amon for company. Kinnikal Paz and Herjan Atna and Helmi Asman have all benefited from Reza Danica's crash. But other than Anupab, nobody's really been able to make a move.
Yeah, only just edged another play. Oh no, he's been helped, of course,
yes,
by Reza going out.
There is Anupab in P4, bike number 500.
Quickest on track.
By 3/10 of a second.
Yeah. So he's figured it out now.
The young Yamaha of Kasma Daniel has been leading from the very, very start. It still looks smooth. There's Anupab, who is thrilling at the best of times. Wainagroho is staying close as well. Behind them, Odaki. Helmi Asman not being able to make any ground up since that exhilarating first lap and a half. Stranded down in P9.
Could be a little break at the front there for Adenanta, and Kasma just ahead of him. Kip has looked fairly cool, calm and collected so far in P3, but he might just be a lost bike length. Anupab's circulating quicker.
Minamoto is out, so not such a welcome return for the former ARRC champion. Let's see what he can do tomorrow.
His front four. Not too much between them now. Wainagroho just behind Anupab, having a good race.
Just half a second between P1 and P4. They are literally wheel to wheel to wheel to wheel. Wainagroho is desperately trying to hold on to the back of them, as is Odaki Aman on the Honda. You're kind of waiting for Anupab to make another move, aren't you? There's that kind of expectation around him. But the serenity of the man at the front, Kasma Daniel, he's looked really sublime. Adelanta's not been able to make any impression on Kasma Daniel. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, considering he's been leading by a 1/10 of a second for virtually the whole race, there's no panic, no pressure showing for Kasma, which makes me wonder.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder whether he might just have something in his pocket.
But he's in confident form.
Yeah, and it shows, because normally riders will get a little bit untidy when they're riding at the front, so he's only a 1/10 ahead, but he's not riding defensively.
Helmi Asman's made a place. He's got up to P8. He's just edged ahead of Herjan Atna on the long home straight. took a bit of a slipstream. There it is again. It's neat and it's tidy and it's knee close to the surface for Kasma.
So we know Kasma's in good form, and Adananta, despite being injured, is really good at managing his tyres during the race, which is why he might have been so far to stay content in behind the race leader.
You do have that impression that those front four, they're not pushing just yet, are they?
No, not quite at half distance.
McKinley Carl Paz has posted the fastest lap, or his fastest lap, of 1:54.3. It is indeed the fastest lap.
Helmy ahead of Hergen now, so he's up to P8. Just clocking up another couple of useful points.
A little wobble there from Adakiyaman. He's being left. The Groho's got himself just on the back end of that train. Approaching halfway.
Yeah, he's had a good weekend playing Groho.
Kyle Paz has come through into P6. He's got ahead of Adakiyaman. He fancies making it another Yamaha.
His front four giving absolutely nothing away. There's nothing obvious that any of them has got a particular advantage, any of them is holding anything back. It's really intriguing. They know they've got time.
Sada, Jack Ripat and Rocco Slessler just coming through. Rocco Slessler up in P12 on Team One for All. Again, even though you're not competing at the top end, you're building up experience, knowledge of circuits. In the meantime, Kasma continues to impress, as does Adananta.
And Anupab, cue the Jaws theme music, has moved himself up into P3.
He has, hasn't he? Yes. Yes. Carolyn Powie couldn't hold on to that. In fact, Carolyn Powie's under pressure from Wainer Groho. There's the Anupab last 6 laps. There's consistency for you. 54.3, 4.3, 2.4. And then, well, that was after the 157. That's impressive consistency for Anupab.
Yeah.
And he moves. Oh, I thought he was just having a little glimpse of the daylight on the inside of Adananta Putra.
Well, starting 10th, he left himself a lot to do. He's got the championship leader 1 place in front of him. So just a little gap showing now between the front 3. 4 or 5 bike lengths now back to Carolyn Powie, who, as you said, there's this danger of falling into the clutches of Wainer Groho.
Carolyn Powie had a good weekend last week. 2 wins in the Malaysian 600cc. He's just slightly off the pace. That's the difference between the domestic championships and this ARRC. You're suddenly mixing with the best of the best. Anupab is really putting pressure on Adananta. And although he was quite blasé about his injury, it's still an injury that may well still be bothering him. It's had a couple of weeks to heal, but now he's under intense pressure from Anupab. Has a look himself as they come under the tunnel.
That might be the best way of dealing with the pressure from Anupab, is to get past Kasma if he can. So let's see.
And Wainer Groho is really putting on a show here as well. Why got himself a podium in Buriram on race number 1 of the season. He's been competitive. He's been 5th in 2 other races. Well, he's got himself ahead of Carolyn Powie into P4. This seems to suit the Yamahas, this Motegi circuit.
Yeah, still. Oh, here comes Anupab.
On the inside of Adananta Putra. And the 21-year-old on the 21 bike is pushed into P3.
That puts himself into a provisional real-time champion championship lead. So let's see what he's got. Let's see what Kasma's got in front. He's got a few bike lengths on the riders behind him. So how clever is Kasma being here is the question. We'll soon see. 4 laps to go after this one.
Nice to have a look at 89 Wayan Nugroho as well for Yamaha Racing Indonesia.
Very
He
much
often
so.
flies under the radar, but he's a good competitor who improves. Adds strength to any squad. Oh, Adelanta has a little wobble. Now, Anupab now chasing Kasma Daniel. But has Kasma just been looking after his tyres?
It's really hard to say, isn't it? It's kind of riding with inscrutability, I would say. Never been far ahead, but never shown any sign of pressure. But the pressure is coming now from the Thai rider, Anupab Samoon, the number 500 with the orange helmet, the orange number on the front of his bike. Adelanta having another nibble, another look on the inside. Backs off, he can't really afford a crash, another crash with that collarbone injury.
Absolutely. Anupab is really piling on the pressure now, but goes a little bit wide. Is he able to hold on? Yet a good drive up the hill. But he's looking for different angles now to attack Kasma. And Adelanta Putra's decided attack is the best form of defence. And this could be a very, very good last 3 laps. Look over the shoulder from Anupab. Thought I got rid of you, he says to Adelanta.
Absolutely not. We know how tough Adelanta is mentally and physically. There won't be any thought of that collarbone injury in the mind of the Indonesian.
Mikhail Paz is still impressing as well. He's in P6 and he's getting closer onto the tail end of Caroline Bowie. You can see bike number 23, just the tail end of that train. So there could still be a lot to talk about. Adelanta Putra's just put in the fastest lap, 154.119, which is quicker than Anupab Samoon. This is Minamoto, possibly looking to come out, just get some laps under his belt for tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever was ailing that bike, he'll want to make sure that it's okay, and then double check in warm-up tomorrow. Kasma.
Well, he's been leading from the start, Kasma.
Yeah, he's absorbed pressure first from Adelanta, now from Anupab. Some very clever riding going on between these three. And Wayan Nugroho having a look here. So if these three start to hold themselves up.
Well, Adelanta's pushed himself through into P2. They've switched positions. Tell you what, if Kasma goes on to win, as Adelanta goes on the inside, a double move from Adelanta Putra, timed it superbly.
Yeah, the front was trying to get away from him then, but he held it well.
Kasma's lost 2 places, and I was just imagining if Kasma held on under this kind of pressure, it would be one of his most impressive victories. But now it's not a victory at all. He's looking over his shoulder, worried about P3. And Adelanta Putra looks like he's accelerating away, and then goes too wide, leaves the braking too late, and loses 1, possibly 2 places.
Anguish on the faces of the Astra Honda pit.
Anupab Samoon, your new race leader.
2 more laps as they complete this one. It's Anupab in the lead, starting from P10. Quite a performance. Kasma goes back into P2.
Wayan Nugroho's not out of this, neither's McKinley Kyle Paz. Adelanta Putra is a Honda in the middle of a double Yamaha sandwich, and he looks to maybe go on the inside once again of Kasma Daniel.
Yeah, let's watch that number 21 Astra Honda, in case there's 1 or 2 tyre issues being experienced there by the championship leader. But Wayan Nugroho is right up there, and McKinley Kyle Paz is coming right up on him. This is going to be a hell of a finish, Des.
And Adelanta Putra's got himself back into P2 as well. So Kasma Daniel, having been so serene and looking so strong in the lead, has found himself overtaken not once but twice in the last 2 laps.
Well, I don't know who wrote the script for this race, but it's a really good job.
And there's plenty to go. There's plenty still to be written. And I wouldn't bet against a sting in the tail. McKinley Paz has been lurking. Nugroho has been looking after his tyres as well. And Anupam, it would be some performance from Anupam Samu to come from P10. Certainly not beyond him. Kind of think we'd expect actually in many ways from Anupam Samu. But this ain't over, not yet.
Yeah, well, one more lap after this one as they come through turns 12, 13.
If you can get close enough, perhaps you can get a drag down this long straight, but it's a healthy-ish lead. It's a 3/10 lead for Anupam Samu. I think you've got to be really on his back wheel if you're going to get any kind of help. Oh, Adananta has to stand up pretty sharpish. And was there contact on the back of Anupam Samu? Kasma has a glimpse. Wayu Nugroho comes through. A P3 for Wayu.
Yep, he saw the opportunity and he's taking it. Championship leader having a bit of a nightmare as they get into the first stages of the final lap. Wayu Nugroho having a look up the inside of Kasma. He's hunting another podium. Let's have another look at that.
Oh, he has to just stand up, stand up. That's evasive action. Something went flying as well.
Yeah, something fell off, we're not sure what it was, didn't look important, but he's still racing really close. You wouldn't think that was a rider defending an injury.
500 Anupam leads from 27, Kasma Daniel from 89, Wayu Nugroho, the championship leader. Is he about to be displaced as championship leader, Adananta Putra? He's still trying to just rescue this, but now we're coming to the business end of this final lap, and the man in position is Anupam Samu. Who's going to leave the braking latest? Kasma.
And Adananta's not done yet. Here he comes.
Adananta had a go. He's got P3. Anupam Samu at the moment though has the lead and in perfect position. But is Kasma close enough to get a slipstream pull into the final straight? And it is Anupam Samu as they race down towards the finish line. Anupam Samu is able to hold on from Kasma Daniel, from Adananta Putra, Nugroho, Paz, Khalid Pari. Helmi Asman gets himself P7 ahead of Herjan and Adaki. Wow.
Wow, indeed. P10 to P1, and the first time that... well, the first error of the race.
May as well do it at the end of the first corner.
Might be a celebration gone wrong, I'm not sure.
And this might be the longest celebration lap that we've had this season.
That would be a big surprise for those guys in the Yamaha Thailand Racing Team pit. Absolutely incredible, because really Anupam hadn't shown up